Hey kids, it's Mark Miller here. I'm here with my good buddy Roy.
Hey.
How you doing, Roy?
I'm pretty good.
Excellent.
Yeah, nice and relaxed, ready to go.
Yeah, last I think Thursday I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do the show today. I got sick from my son, who we were watching TV together, and he decided to kind of turn and cough all over me. It's a thing sometimes kids do.
Yeah.
I don't know why they do that. Fred doesn't know why either. It's Fred right there. Say hi, Fred. All right, what do you say, Fred? Okay, we're going to do it. Because Fred says, let's do it. We're going to work on Wall of Fire today. That's what we're going to work on. We're modding TaleSpire in C#. I only got one day this week, by the way, Roy. I don't think I told you that. Yeah. I think I fail as a guy who likes to keep people informed.
Well, I mean, you see, you said to me last week, no show today, and I could have sworn that I replied, yeah, sure, no problem. But I looked at the conversation today, and there was nothing. You had no idea I'd seen that. So I'm equally bad at communicating back in response.
Oh, you think you didn't say anything back? Okay, good. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought you might have, but it doesn't matter. Ultimately, I was like, I was just feeling so bad. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna. And it wasn't COVID. He took a test. I don't know if I said that yet or not. I feel like I've been kind of in the daze this morning a little bit.
So you're saying you've been sicker without COVID than I've been with COVID?
Yes, that apparently is the case. Although I don't necessarily have trust that his negative COVID test is 100% representation of the truth,
Fair. Yeah.
So, so what we're going to do is this. We're going to go into TaleSpire, and I've got this kind of crudely roughed out in my mind. But I'm going to hit the M key to bring up the ruler. Then I'm going to hit the number 2 key to bring up the line ruler. And then we're going to do something like this. We're going to draw out something. Now, we're going to cast Wall of Fire. Mm-hmm. Wall of Fire, I think, gives you like a 60-foot long wall, 1 foot wide. I think. Let's see if we can get some verification on that. Right now, 60 feet long, 20 feet high, 1 foot thick or thick. I'll call that thick.
I think that's supposed to say thick.
Yeah. They also have this option where a ringed wall up to 20 feet in diameter, 20 feet high, and 1 foot thick. Now, I don't have an option for this. So what I've been doing up to this point is if there's an option for the spell, I actually will break the spell into 2 spells.
Yeah.
A lot of spells will sometimes say, well, you can cast this, or some spells say you can cast it in an action, or you can spend 8 hours casting and then affect an area a mile in diameter or something like that. But
the path of getting that done is so different from start to finish that you're probably better off considering them to be 2 separate spells.
Yeah, that's ultimately what I found again and again. It makes it so much easier. And then the other cool thing about that is that in the Stream Deck, what I do, let's see if I can show you this. It's actually pretty cool. So the Dungeon Master is able to come in and say, like, little cutie spells more plant growth. Mm-hmm. Right there. And now, it used to be 1 spell, but now it's 2. And the difference between the 2 are listed here and here. So now you can choose them. I've even given them a different icon as well. So, so that's kind of that's how I'm going to approach that if I solve it that way. Little Q's got Wall of Water. I think she's got a Staff of Fire. That gives her Wall of Fire. So she's also got Wall of Fire.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, anyway, that's what we're doing.
Let's see. The staff gives us 3 different things there. One of which we're now saying is going to be broken itself into 2 parts, the Wall of Fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What's interesting about this, so the problem with me just disposing of this as an option is that this actually gives them a longer wall. In other words, you can't create right? Pi d is the circumference around, and so 3.14 times 20 is going to be over 60. It's going to be like
True.
67 feet long, I think.
But you
something like
know
that.
that's because the D&D guys didn't want to have to deal with that decimal.
Right. No, I get that. I totally get that. But since they give that to you, I have to make that as a separate option. So I'm going to have to create a separate spell, I think, since they've done that in there. The cool thing about this is there are a lot of walls already inside of D&D, and what I'm really excited about is being able to build one using TaleSpire exactly where I want to build the wall. And so what our goal is here today is to be able to lay down that wall in TaleSpire like we're doing over here, right? Once we get the wall where we want it to be, even if we overshoot it, like say we create something that's 70 feet, what it'll do is, ideally, the goal is start from here, laying down the effects along the line, like this, until it gets to 60 feet, and then it's going to say, I'm good, like that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we're looking for. Usually at this point, I find it's a good idea to start up PowerPoint and create a new presentation here where we're going to say, like wall, D&D wall effects, like that.
Thindol's in the chat room. Hey, Thindol.
Hey, Thindol. How you doing, buddy? Welcome. By the way, Thindol, we're not here tomorrow or any other time the rest of the week. Actually, I'm not coming back till maybe Thursday. So it'll be like over a week before I see you kids again. Because I'm headed to Valencia to check out places to live, and then I'm going to be coming back. So that's kind of what my plan is. So the D&D wall effects.
Take some time.
So goals. I want to be able to lay down the wall in TaleSpire, meaning where are the points of the wall?
Yep.
I want the effects to go. The effects to blaze.
So just to be very clear here, we're talking about fire that effectively emits from the floor in that line. What we said, 20 feet high, up to 60 feet long, the traced line that we're going to have.
Up to 60 feet
and
long, yeah.
a foot thick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or effects to blaze. And is that it? That's essentially it. Everything else is going to just follow the same, guidelines that we already have, which is if the spell expires or the player loses concentration. If it's a concentration spell, I need to double check that.
It was in the case of the circle, didn't we see?
Yeah, it's concentration.
Okay.
What happens if a concentration spell comes out of a wand? Is it concentration? I don't know. Concentration spells from a wand in D&D. Concentration doesn't matter. Because saving throw to maintain when damaged. Okay, that's a fair question too. Concentration is concentration. Doesn't matter if you cast a spell from an item or if you cast a spell from a spell slot. So yes, all the rules still apply. You have to maintain concentration on it if you're casting from a wand. Okay, cool. That's a great one.
All right.
Great rule. Okay. So I guess I'm just going to dive into it. I thought there might be more here, but there's not.
Let me ask you a quick question. Let's imagine 60 feet worth of wall, and you do 3 segments of 15 feet, so we're up to 45, and then because of the way somebody clicks or places this on the ground, they overshoot and they actually draw a line that is ultimately 65 feet.
Yeah.
Are we going to calculate the point at which it should have ended and then make it end there?
Yeah.
Okay. That's
cool.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to. This is not some shabby operation.
Oh no, absolutely not.
Findell says off topic. I've just beaten a personal record 1.5 days since I got access to my new home and still haven't set up internet, server, or any computers. What are you? Am I on your cell phone right now, Findell?
That's just scary. I think the only way I'd survive such a period of time with no computers or internet would be with a big pile of Lego. That would help.
No, that's cool.
Right?
I didn't know you like Lego that much.
Yeah. I've been building some stuff. Well, I've been stuck at home, you see.
Are
your kids interested
in that, Rory? or no?
Not as much as they used to be. They're sort of 15 and a bit older now, and they used to be very big into it. They used to love it. You give them a pile of bricks, they stay happy for hours.
Yeah.
Now it's all the screens in front of you,
Got it.
Kindles and stuff.
No, I understand that. Okay.
Never mind.
Never mind. I'm sorry. That was a bad question. Do you have fantasy kids? The kids that you would have if everything was cool? Did they like playing Legos?
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
I've been unpacking kitchen clothes. I feel like an adult, Shutter says Linda. Well, let me tell you, I am not that adult yet. I have custom boxes being built for 2 different computers I'm going to ship from Costa Rica to Spain. And I'm timing everything so that my downtime is as minimum as possible. I'm thinking about everything in terms of getting back up and online as quickly as possible with everything. So yeah, trying to figure all that out and calculate it, it's a little bit of a challenge.
See, I picture the box arriving in Valencia or wherever, right? And you opening a hatch and just plugging in from the side and everything's already working.
Not that cool. I'm not that cool. Not that cool. All right. So we are in TaleSpire Explorer. This is that project that we've been kind of using to play around. Inside of here, I noticed last night, hey, I got this Get Ruler button. Oh, yeah, I remember writing this a little bit. Where I went out and I said, go figure out the ruler, right? And then what we did with this, in fact, I'll show you what this does. Let's switch back over to TaleSpire here. Notice I've drawn this out right here. If I click that Get Ruler button, it grabs and finds the ruler, and then it sticks at each point.
Oh, very nice. So we have
our medium flame
of the information. So the start point, all the points along it, and of course we can calculate the individual sort of
links
points along a line if need be.
Yeah, it's called math, man. We can do. We can
do anything with math.
If you haven't joined the show before, basically what happens is Roy and I talk about how we could solve a problem, and we imagine us being really good at it for like a good 20 minutes, 30 minutes. That's the whole beginning of the show. Then it looks like Fast and Furious 9 a little bit, just things careening off cliffs and all kinds of stuff. No, I haven't actually seen it yet. I tried to get the kids and family to watch it, but one of the members of the family has judgment on my movie choices. She speaks of them in ways to influence the children. Awesome math. How does it work?
Yeah.
We'll find out today. So, anyway, this is that code right here that does it. It calls add effect. It just grabs medium fire, gives it a name, does some fun stuff with it, that sort of thing. That's what's going on there. I think what I want to start with is I want to start with this code here. What do we got?
Yes, because this is clearly code that worked before. Right?
Yeah, we just saw it. We saw it work, right? It's like,
indeed,
there it is. That code is working. But what I'm looking at, I guess I want to first understand it. You guys, if anybody's new out there, they might be like, well, Mark, why didn't you figure this out before the show? Because that's not what I do. The show is watching me figure stuff out with you. Okay. So I've got handles and a position on the handles. I get a list of handles that come back from it. Okay? The thing I need to find out is line ruler. What happens? Oh, here. No line ruler. I want to know what happens in this space right here.
Right, so if you say get and there's nothing there to get.
Yeah. That's what I'm looking at. I think a show of just doing might just as well have been an article. Yeah, that's true. So this is like perfect for me because I really don't like to prep. Okay, so here it says one line ruler indicators found. Mm-hmm. Roy, can you join our game?
Yeah, probably.
And lay down your ruler. I want to see what happens when I call get ruler again. I'm going to clear mine a second here if I can.
How up to date is your TaleSpire, and how up to date does mine's need to not be?
I think you're going to be fine. Okay. You just try it. See what happens.
Okay, loading now.
So I'm going to try again. Get ruler 0 line ruler indicators found. Let me bring up. I want to bring up a different one. The number 3. The sphere, that guy, and now do a get call on it. Good. So the line ruler indicators is only the line. So that part's good. Love that. All right.
Right. TaleSpire has loaded for me. Oh, begin perhaps. There we go. And is that where we were?
Join the game.
Hitting play. Maybe this will work. I've got a very small screen for some reason on my screen of TaleSpire, but it is connecting. And yes, there we are.
I see you. You're here.
Okay. So, what controls do I use in order to lay down a ruler?
M or click the toggle rulers button at the bottom right of the screen. There you go. Not that one though. Now switch to. Once you've done that, hit the number 2 to switch to the line ruler. And now start drawing a line ruler out here.
I do not appear to be able to click and drag.
Just click once and release.
Double click will be a start, and then I can do this.
All right, now I'm going to call get. Okay, now right click it or something to get rid of it. Whatever, to be done with it. To set it in stone. Right click?
No.
No?
Oop.
That was escape,
let's
I bet.
Try
right?
that again.
Was that escape that you did?
No, it was a double right click.
No.
So I double click to start, and now I'm single clicking to establish points. Hang on a second. Choose ruler, move point. No.
Maybe
middle click doesn't do anything. Right click. I can hit escape. Escape quits. Okay, fine. Not escape.
Try this. Inside of TaleSpire in the upper right, there's a button that says settings. And if you click the hourglass, which looks like you want to search, you actually bring up the key map. And if you click on reset to default, I found this has sometimes solved problems for me.
Okay, let's do that. Oops, reset to default once more. Okay, right, so select M.
And then try right clicking when you're done.
Maybe if I right click whilst. No, we're not having a lot of luck with this.
All right, fine. So we'll just hover at this point. So you do it till you're done, and tell me when you're done.
Yeah, that's fine. We have a line.
Now I'm going to click on Get Ruler and see what happens. Aha! Okay. The thing is, that last point is still, if you move the mouse, it'll move, right? Yeah. Interesting. Where's the end ruler button? What is that? For me, it's right-clicking. It's weird. It's so weird. 2, 1, 2, 3, and then I right-click, and it snaps back to the previous one. And it's like I'm done.
Oh.
What if you
that stopped. But all I was doing was left-clicking.
Oh, you can do it if you get really big.
So there's a limitation to the number of waypoints I can have.
Yeah. That's not
quite the same.
Okay, so if I do that, I'm just putting a whole bunch of dots on the same spot. And if I right click, that whole thing went away. Let's try again. Toggle ruler. 1, 2, 3, 4. What if I hit M now? The whole thing goes away. Come on, guys. What's our shortcut here to stop this? For me, it is a right click and it snaps back, but I wonder if it's because I'm in GM mode or something like that.
Do a search here.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll look at that. If I come in and say Get Roller now. Okay, so it found yours, but it didn't bother with mine.
Huh.
And that's probably revealed in the code. If we go look at the code.
Does the Get Ruler button clear the box? Because there were 2 listed there, but was it just one from previously, or?
Let's actually take a look at this. If we look back over at TaleSpire, it says 2 ruler indicators found, 5 handles found, then it says 10 handles found. Let me clear this box a second. Choose Get Ruler again. Yeah, so 5 handles found, that's mine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and yours is the 10 handles right there.
Yep.
So what's going on in the code that corresponds to that? Because it looks like line rulers. This is all of the line ruler indicators out there. If handles is not null, then we get the handles from it. Okay. I don't understand why it's not adding effects. Oh, I know why. See this? That line of code says add effect giving it a unique name. If we were to change this to include the ruler number or something else unique about those pieces, what's happening is it's adding them and then deleting them is what's happening. So, okay. Do we have data? I guess my next question is, on my line ruler, do I have data as to who owns this? Like, what's your name? Am I gonna see that? It doesn't look like it. What's inside line ruler indicator? What does line ruler indicator give us? I'm gonna say nothing interesting.
But ruler indicator from which it descends might have ownership.
Fair. Thank you.
And from that mono behavior. So this is our limit here, effectively.
It's unclear to me.
Yeah.
Like to find out who the owner is. Okay, so at this point, what I can do though is I can say, all right, which one do we want? I'm going to say, hey, look, if there's more than 2 rulers on the board, I'm going to say we're not going to do it. We're not going to go with that. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to get this out of here and down into the core engine. So I'm going to go down into TaleSpire over here. I'll just grab one of these. And I'm going to come in and say, let's create a new partial class here. And inside here, we're going to create a class called rulers, I think, like that. And we're going to move the stuff to this location. TaleSpire 1, which is here. So we'll call this TaleSpire.rulers, like that. And we're essentially looking at kind of this code right in here. So we need a new method. I suppose it's going to say get all rulers, maybe something like that. And we need a way no rulers found. That. Maybe a warning instead of an error. Okay. We need a way of encoding the ruler is what we need to do, because I'm pretty sure, what are we going to need to send back to the main app? The main app is, well, at this point, it's not, I can't actually tell you with certainty, Rory, that we need to do this, that we need to encode these. So maybe we table that for a little bit. We need to know if there's how many rulers are active, our line ruler activator. We need to get the count that we need. So rulers. So this is going to be get all line rulers is what this is going to be called. Get all line rulers. Then I'm going to create another one that's going to return an int that's going to be called get line ruler count. Like that. And let's make this public. Okay, looks like I've got a missing paren. Okay, get line ruler count is there. Get all line rulers is here. This is maybe simply going to say, let's return it. Yeah, I feel like this is overkill right here. No, I don't like that either. I don't want it to be of objects. Hold on. Let's light this up down here again. That's what we want them to be, right there. Now, shouldn't get all return that? I bet it doesn't, does it? It's going to give me an error? Yeah, look at that. Okay, so then to do this, we want to do something like How do we convert?
I don't know. Is there a cast or a convert?
Cast is where it is. Cast to that? Is that how I do it?
And that will give you an IEnumerable of, which won't go straight to an array, but presumably you can to array or to list.
Yeah, let's do that. Good. All right, so
That's
now
better.
I'm going to just do this, like that. Okay, just breaking this into
Sindel
pieces.
asks, can you do .select object to line whatever? And
Yeah,
yes, you can. You can construct the shape that you like. You could even create a custom shape if necessary. But you can just go to one type, especially if it is the type that is fundamentally in the collection with the cast. So if you want something more complicated than we need, certainly select is a good route. And also, if you want a subset of the data for an individual item, you can return an array of anonymous objects, I believe. But yeah. Hey, Coding
Whoa.
Gorilla.
It's Coding Gorilla, here to save the day. That's what Cast does, says Coding Gorilla. Look at that. Here to take care of us all.
Indeed.
Coding Gorilla, I'm not back. This is my last show this week. I will not be back until Thursday of next week. That's what it looks like. I'm going to hop over to Valencia.
We're going to skip 4 shows.
Yeah, we're skipping a lot. Apologies, but I'm going to Valencia to go get an apartment, go find a place.
You just
for me to
needed
live.
some really fresh orange juice.
Yeah, that's cool. So I can't drink it because I'm keto. Yeah, moving to Spain for a little bit, not for a long time. Would be a long time if their tax rate wasn't so high. But holy cow, their tax rate is like double what I'm paying in the States, and so I'm going to be like that would be like painful for me. So we're not going to live there forever, is what it looks like now. Unless if you're, from the Spanish government and you're listening in, you want to change your laws for me, and you want to make a deal, want to cut a deal?
Didn't I hear something strange about USA tax laws, that they consider people even who've left as being citizens who need to continue paying tax?
I think that's true. I mean, in other words, I still pay tax in the States, even though I don't live there. I do get a tax break because I don't live there.
Okay.
So there's a break on, because like I'm not using the roads or I'm not using whatever the government supplies.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, that sort of thing. Fiddle says that's horrible. Yeah, the hit is huge for me, and it's just like I've used the words, it'll ruin us, it'll destroy us financially. And don't be such a drama queen, says my wife in the other room over there. Yeah, I won't be a drama queen.
Fine.
I'm in a surly mood, I just realized.
You're in a surly mood. I can hear that from the other room.
Yeah,
You better unbunch your panties.
I will. As soon as I'm done talking about some member of my family. Hey, guess what movie Karen picked for family movie night last night, right? Romeo and Juliet. That's exactly right. How did you know
Who
that?
said that?
Huh?
Who said that?
I did.
Oh.
It's just me. Just messing with you. Yeah, Romeo and Juliet. Holy cow, my mind was going crazy from the Shakespearean dialogue in it. This is the one with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, yeah.
Who's the great Hispanic actor?
John
blows-
Leguizamo?
John Leguizamo is amazing in it.
Faye Dunaway, yeah.
Also, there's
Paul Sorvino?
there's some great performances in it. But holy cow, is his dialogue make my autistic brain go screaming a
You
lot.
have to relax and feel the dialogue, not actually parse the
Just
dialogue.
pretend it's Yoda, you'll be fine.
Pretend it's Yoda? Yeah, no, that worked for a good second, and then I was back to screaming again. I tried that.
Okay.
The
You tried what?
he said just pretend it's Yoda, and I actually tried that, and it worked. I was calm for about a second before I started screaming for the rest of the movie. Part of the problem, Rory, is that when I'm watching a movie, we like to put, as a family, we like to have subtitles on, and my autistic mind cannot get my eyes off of the high contrast subtitles.
I can't stop watching the subtitles
Yeah.
when they're on.
That-
They're like magnets for my eyes.
Exactly.
And I miss half of the things that are actually happening. Even if it's in English,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
still
yeah.
reading those subtitles.
Wait. What is DiCapriosa?
A spell from Harry Potter.
That's
where it
oh.
turns you into a good-looking man.
What is it? That I've never heard of that spell.
Leo DiCapriosa, yeah.
That was a lob. You're supposed to say clearly.
Clearly, you have not heard of that spell.
That spell's never been performed on me.
Really? He had no idea.
So anyway, subs are awesome. It's pizza is what it is. Okay. Got it. That's cool. I didn't know it was pizza. Yeah. Someone's got to pay for those $4 trillion roads. Wait, are you talking about in Spain or in the United States? Maybe it's the United States you're talking about. Okay. So I got a bunch of code here that I'm not using yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, is that all I need for now? I think it's all I need for now. I'm just going to drop a little comment down here, put that code in there just in case I need to want to back and reference that. Again, I do still have it over in my main project as well. The U.S., right, 4 trillion infrastructure bill. Or some craziness. Sarcasm alert. Hey, you know what?
I'm guessing with that kind of landmass, there's a lot of roads, in fairness.
Yeah, here's the problem. The main problem with, like in general, there's like all kinds of, there's a mix, right, to all of this. You employ people, you boost up the economy, you know, America's got this continuing plan of essentially borrowing to boost our economy. And it's, you know, if you don't look at the debt, it's working flawlessly. The program is great, right?
But I'm not an accountant or a mathematician at any level, but there's something instinctively wrong about that.
No,
which I'm
great.
trusting that better men than me understand, or better women perhaps, understand a lot better.
No, it's just eyes up here. Don't look at the debt. Eyes up here.
Okay.
But part of my concern is all the concrete and the impact on the concrete has a massive carbon footprint, is my understanding. And so whenever you're laying down concrete, so I'm like, the other thing that's crazy to me is I'm like, wait, by now, according to me, 20 years ago or 30 years ago even, I said we're going to have the ability to essentially print freeways out of a very lightweight material, and we'll just print them. And that has not happened yet. We're still laying down concrete, and I'm like, oh God, we're way behind.
I think the majority of roads are made up of tarmac. I think it's called tarmacadam is the proper phrase.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what that is, if I'm honest, but it always feels a lot softer than the concrete stuff that we occasionally have to drift onto.
Oh, well, that's cool. I like that. I hope it's not, I hope it's cool, but I hope it's carbonly, closer to neutral. Thindle says China actually did something smart with COVID. If you got land off the government, hired you for a percentage of your salary, and you put to work building infrastructure. If you got land, hired you for a high percentage of your salary. If you had no skills, you got to shovel. Oh, sorry. If you got laid off. Now I'm with you. Okay. If you got laid off,
right.
The government hired you for a high percentage of your salary and put you to work building infrastructure.
See, that's useful.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think it is the way any government should try to rebuild itself, because putting people to work makes so much more sense than trying to just, than giving up and saying, let's yield to corruption, which is what you could also do as a government. And if you do that, you end up just screwing the little people, right? Anybody who's struggling, the marginalized. Apologies for the word little people. That kind of sounded super inconsiderate. But yeah, the marginalized people, I think the marginalized people the world gets much harder when you introduce corruption into the ecosystem, it seems. All right. Get online rulers. So we just moved a couple things down over into here. This information I need to send back because I need to know that I got like essentially one line ruler down there when we're going to cast a spell. And if we don't, we're going to throw an error. So I need to know that I've got at least one line ruler down there. And there's a country of something for later. And there's a country of something for later. I'm not connecting what that is to, Thindle.
I think it's just that rather than have people sat at home, laid off, not doing anything. That they're investing something into the future of
Right.
the country, which no matter what happens, that something
Yes.
will survive.
Now I get it. Right. Of course. It's the infrastructure piece. Yeah. No, I totally agree with it. It's something that they did in the United States. President Roosevelt, I think, created something called the New Deal. Teddy Roosevelt, and that was, I think, a lot of people considered that it was the way that America kind of got back on its feet. Part of it, getting back on your feet, is believability, right? Is convincing people that the economy is safe to invest in. It's safe to spend your money, right?
Otherwise,
so
you're just in a big spiral.
Yeah, and so how can you do it? Well, if you give people jobs and you start building new things, you can kind of give people that confidence, and then that can, in turn, kind of flow out into other things. That's the little I know about all of this. Okay, so we want to go into our TaleSpire client. We need to create a new... Actually, not here. Go to Modding Utils first. We're going to go to Modding Utils. And we're going to create a new command called get ruler count. Get ruler count, like that. And somewhere in here, I've got something that returns some data. There we go. So we're going to call this get ruler count. And looks like
that did not work in the comment. Yeah, there we go.
There in the text there. Yeah, thanks. We're expecting 0 arcs. Nothing there. We want to go into TaleSpire.rulers.getRulerCount, like that. And we want to essentially return that. And I'm pretty sure we can just throw that number in as data because it's serializable data and return it. So there's get ruler count right there. Now I want to go over to my TaleSpire client, and I think I want to do something similar. How are we doing this with get creature up here? Aha. There's like this is like get position right here. This is kind of close, so we'll kind of duplicate that. We want get ruler count like this. It's going to return an int. And we're going to get the response, invoke get ruler count, passing in no parameters. Then we're going to say return 0. And can I do that?
Feels like it should be able to.
No, because it's a class.
Ah.
So what I got to do instead maybe is something like this. Can I do it here though? I can. So if I can kind of do that, I'm just going to say, hey, I'm going to say return to int, like that. Because it's my class, this API response.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to throw that down in there. Looks like something different happened than what I was expecting. I think I hit Control comma to bring this up, and then it jumped me to that toInt. That's what happened. Okay, one more time. Control dot, declare method. There we go. I wonder if there's some other kind of there's a toString. Okay. All right, we'll see if that works. So we've got a toInt there. Get ruler count. there's something else we need. When we play the effect, let's find play effect. We have a positioning kind of thing that happens here. At position.
Hector HSC in the chat room. Hey, Hector.
Hector, how you doing? Welcome. Glad you're with us. By the way, Hector, I'm not here. I'm out, and after this is my last show this week. I'll be back on Thursday of next week, going to Valencia, Spain, to go look at apartments. Play effect at position. I think I'm going to put all this code for laying down the wall up above in C# in the well, it's C# in both places, but I think in the controlling app.
Okay.
Is that fair to do? I'm trying to kind of work through. Let's go look where this is called from. I called it all. Oh, because I'm in the wrong solution. Hold on. What's happening here? Let's report a code rush issue. Hey kids, I got the latest build that I'm working with. I typed this in. You can see I've typed in a filter, and the filter's not even taking effect, it appears. And I'm not sure why. Keep typing here, and nothing is happening. In terms of the filter, looks like there's a new issue here. What's happening here? Data is... Oh, yeah, look at this. I've got multi-lines. I had
multiple lines.
I had multiple
so
lines
got
on the
stuff
clipboard.
out of view at the top.
Okay, that's the bug. So if I paste in multiple lines in the filter, it'll accept it makes it look like it's broken. Okay, so we can't, if there's any carriage returns, I suggest we just accept the last line after the carriage return, I think. I don't know. Maybe trim off the carriage returns. Maybe pull out the carriage returns and paste it in. That's maybe what the fix is. Okay. Jump to symbol. Pasting in multi-line filter. Breaks it. Okay. All right, we're Dog Food and Code Rush, usually 5 days a week. After next Thursday, though, we'll be back and should be here relatively uninterrupted until I move. So, okay, sorry, we're back over here. We want to say play effect at position is what we're looking at. Play effect at position.
Now, when you say play effect, normally this is like a point or an area or something similar like that. Now, what we're looking at here is a series of lines. Each line will have a start and an end. Is that fair to say? So do we have the capacity to pass this kind of nature of shape further down the line? I mean, do you view this as a series of play effects? So play effect line segment 1, play effect line segment 2,
yeah.
Each of which will need 2 points? Or is there some other way you're thinking?
Well, that's kind of what I'm thinking about now is how do I solve this? What I'm looking for ideally is something that just simply says, put up a wall with the effect. And I'm just trying to figure out, do I need a new piece, or at first I was imagining I had an enum that I could send down that could say, where does this go? I also have, hold on, I just have play effect. This is kind of where I was really thinking I was going to hook it. Yeah, look at that, effect location right in there. But I think effect location is used in the main D&D app, the main engine, to then choose whether how we're going to call play effect. Yeah. So we've got play effect at position. I can add a new parameter. Here's the problem. If we solve it up here, we're going to make a bunch of calls over to TaleSpire when we could really only do it as one. We could simply do it as one. I think what I'm doing is I'm creating a brand new method is what I'm creating here. So instead of playing
play effect at line?
No, it's going to be play wall. It's going to be create wall effect or something like that. Build wall.
And then you're going to send a series of points.
Nope, I'm not sending anything. It's going to use the ruler is what it's going to do.
Of course, because it's got the information over there already.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, sorry. That took a while for me to get here, but we're here. Let's not stress about it too much. Okay, so there's going to be an effect name, a spell ID. The vector is not needed. So we're going to remove vector. And I'm removing it here. So it's at this point, just remember, Rory, it's like play affected position, but we took out vector, the third parameter.
Yes.
We removed the third parameter.
Presumably we do need a reference to the ruler.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm just going to verify before we cast the spell that there's only one ruler on the board.
Oh, I see.
And then we're going to use that one. That's what's going to happen.
Okay.
Is movable. I don't think we need that. It's not a movable. The walls are not generally not movable. There's one wall type that's destroyable that I know of, and that is ice walls. You can destroy an ice wall. So I may add support later for is it. Okay, so we're going to say, just as notes here, we removed a third param, the vector, and is movable.
Yeah.
Is
there anything we need to take into account about is passable? Because, okay, you make a wall of stone, okay, you're not passing through that. And the ice is, as you say, potentially breakable. Fire is one of those things, depending on the intensity, you could make a leap through it, perhaps take damage, but you would still get through it.
Yeah.
Does this matter at all for what we're doing?
No.
Or is this purely graphical effect at the moment?
It's purely graphical effect at the moment. The Dungeon Master is going to handle any kind of damage from the wall,
Okay.
I think. But I may add buttons that say, wall, like for walling, the wall attacking, a firewall attack or something like that. So
we're going to suggest whether it's passable or not, because I can see players moving their character and trying to sort of pass through the wall.
Yeah, the Dungeon Master will catch that and then apply damage.
Okay.
So I don't think we need to worry about that. All right. So those are our notes there. So we've got build wall. We're invoking build wall. We're going to now look for play effect at position back over in this app right here.
Yep.
And looking for it in modding utils. There it is. We now want to duplicate this. And we're going to call it build wall.
Yes.
Hold on. What did I take more than I needed? It looked like I might have taken more than I needed.
I thought you were okay.
Let me do selection increase, duplicate line.
There you go.
Okay. Something's different. Oh no, wait. Is this let's see. There's this. I see. It's given us this. Oh, interesting. Oh my gosh. So this is kind of super interesting because I'm on the latest build. It looks like they used to give me whole bunches of things selected. I'm wondering if they've improved their intelligence on this. That would be awesome. Yeah, I'm on the latest build of Code Rush right here. Okay, so let's see. We're going to call this, is it on my clipboard? Nope, that's not what I want. It's called build wall. Thanks, Rory, for that. And now we're going to go, we'll take out 2 parameters. We need 3 to 7 parameters. Like that. Let's put my notes in here. Remove the third parameter. So the third parameter is 0, 1, 2. Which was vector, right?
Yep.
There's 2, so we take out that one. And everything after 2 gets decremented. So this now goes 2 goes to 2. 4 goes to 3. 5 goes to 4. 7 goes to 6. And I think we lose the last one. Okay? Like that.
Yes.
All right.
Which means we've got a trim is movable from the end of line 1827.
Yeah. Thank you. And vector.
And vector, yep.
Yeah. And now we've got build wall with some cool parameters to it, which I'm liking.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of is movable. Okay. That looks like we might have done that correctly. Feels good to me.
Yep.
Build
Looks
wall.
good.
Let's declare that. Okay. This is the effect name. We'll have to double check what I'm doing here, but I'm pretty sure this is right. This is the spell ID. The other things look like they got all the right parameter names. Effect name and spell ID. We can compare that with play effect at position. Effect name, spell ID. Okay, that's what's coming in there. That's what it needs. So I think we're good there. So now we've got build wall, effect name, spell ID. All of that pieces are coming in. Next, we need to get the ruler. So we need to go into rulers. Dot get all line rulers. And if it's empty, then we can't do anything. We're going to throw out an error that's going to say, hey, no line rulers. And that's inside build wall.
Do we actually ever get back a null, or are we more likely to get an empty list?
Here, hold on. Let me do this before Coding Gorilla types anything in here.
There we go.
And I can call any on a null, right? Because this is an extension method. Is that right?
I think so.
It knows the type up here.
Yeah, it's certainly legitimate to call it. You can put an extension method just effectively on the type, even if it doesn't have any allocated data. Whether or not the individual extension method actually tries to access this and then compares it with null or not, I don't know.
I could do this. I could say, hey, if this is equal to false, I know that would work.
Do we have any kind of immediate evaluation window in C#, which you could just go null.any and see what happened?
Yeah, maybe. I don't really. We've used it once on this show. That's me. I think it's in debug windows, immediate.
Could be.
And now, so I got to build something now.
Well, I think you can just evaluate null.any parentheses semicolon. I think you just
like
if you enter after that.
But it doesn't know the type of it though.
Oh, I see.
So
that's a good point. You'd have to.
Yeah. So let's
right.
like that. What if I said?
Could you cast the null to something?
Hit Control Q to get interactive. Hold on. Control Q. That may not.
Is that the shortcut for this?
Oh wait,
window?
hold on. I'm hitting the wrong button. Control Q. Yeah, I get up here for search. Control Q brings me up here. Or are you saying do that and then type in interactive?
Oh,
Control EE for me. Is that what we're talking about?
So Coding Gorilla's got a better phrase to analyze here. He's got If you look there's some code that effectively casts X, or in our case, null, to a list of string.
Good.
Before doing that.
You know why I say good? Because I was struggling trying to figure out how to do that in the immediate window. All right, so let me close this down. Go back to the immediate. Let's see how the immediate thinks about that.
Right. The X itself is wrong, so we'll put a null in that. Do we need another bracket before we can call?
There.
Yeah.
I hate you. I hate you.
System.collections.list.
And there's no IntelliSense
Or is it
either?
generics?
Generics.
Collections.generics? I don't know which way around that is.
I could open up a new instance of Visual Studio.
So Coding Gorilla's telling us it throws. Trust me.
Good. That's what I was thinking.
Words, so if it's null, we can't call any.
Yeah. So you know what?
But I don't know that we ever get a null. If we have a look in at get all line rulers, do we not just return an IEnumerable? Right? Which can be empty. We can have no items in it, but it is going to be a non-null value.
Yeah.
So this is kind of redundant.
Okay. What's interesting is, wonder if this could throw, right? If get all, what's going to happen there? That's just going to give me an empty list. Then we'll cast it to another empty list.
We don't mind if it throws an exception. We just care if it gives us null somehow.
All right. So it's going to
causes us to throw elsewhere.
All right. So maybe we're going to do instead if all line rulers count is not equal to 1. Or did we just take the first one?
No. You can still go .any, right? The thing is that the value itself, the all line rulers, cannot be null. Therefore, we don't need to worry if the extension method has a problem with null.
Fine. All right. Then we're going to go in and we'll take the first one. Everybody okay if I do that? Or do you want me to just say dot first? Is there first in there? There we go. Okay. And so we're going to call this the ruler. Good. So there's the first thing. Then we got a bunch of points in there, right? Mm-hmm. That's where this other code comes in. Oh, look at this.
Wow. We're reflecting and getting a list of handles.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. I almost think that there's going to be some code coming back over here in rulers here in a second. Okay. Let's rename this to that. So we get those pieces there. Then that gets us the handles right there. And the handles, we definitely want to move into the other location. That's the list of the transforms. So I'm going to come in here and say, this is going to be equal to rulers dot get handles. No, I'm going to make it an extension method on line ruler indicator. Sweet. I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now I wish there was a, sorry about that, kids. I wish.
Not the scene change you were looking for.
Yeah, hit the wrong button. But you know what? This isn't the wrong button. That was the right button every time. There's never a wrong time to hit that button. I win. Okay, here we go. Coder's feature request. Oh, what? Somebody coming in? I'm going to be on a plane tomorrow flying to Valencia, Spain.
Jessam coming to pick you up.
Jessam's going to pick me up. Thanks, Jessam, for the ride. I know. I wished the Code Rush spot would tell me to duck. All right. Okay, here we go. Coder's feature request. Let's Mark, stay focused. Jeez, come on. All right. Where's my Coder's button? There it is. Issue start. All right. Kids, I got a feature request for you. It's here. Anytime I've got a call on an object I don't have code for, I want to be able to
scroll down just a little bit because it's hidden behind your head.
There we go. So I want to be able to control dot on that and see a declare extension method.
Yeah.
Right, guys? That needs to be here right now, or pretty soon. Like now, I'll just wait for you to build it, and I'll pause the show until it's done. That's what it is. That's my feature request, kids. Create or declare extension method, something like that. Extension method available in a call on an instance I don't have code to. The code is not in the solution. Okay, that's what I'm looking for.
So the theory is if the method doesn't exist, you're either going to get declare method or declare method as extension.
Yeah, exactly. Jetsam says keep your tray tables and seat back in the upright locked positions. We always do that on the show. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into rulers. I'm going to go declare that in rulers as an extension method. So new method, get handles. It's going to take a line ruler indicator like this as a parameter. And I'll call it that like this. I'm going to put the word this in front of it. I'm going to make it public. And it's going to simply execute this line of code right there that we've got, which is going to be this. Return that, transform, use the Unity engine, and now convert to function. Okay.
Yep.
Now what's wrong here? What's my problem?
That is not the return type I was expecting.
It's got to be in a top level class. What's happening here? Prevent the debug session. What debug session? I'm in TaleSpire Explorer. I'm not running. That's worrisome. It's not. This is insane.
Did you just cut the code though?
Yeah, I did.
So the Unity engine that you brought in is no longer.
Oh, I see.
There you go.
It's no longer needed anyway. Yeah, I'm with you. But what Visual Studio thinks we're in a edit and continue session. It's okay. I've got a separate class out here for extension methods. I think I know it's out here somewhere. There it is right there. So this is where I put all my cool TaleSpire little helper pieces in here. So what's cool about this is like, look, the line ruler indicator doesn't reveal this, but it's important for building plugins. So we kind of work around it, and by putting it in a single file, there's a single point of responsibility to, in case this internal field name ever changes.
Yeah.
That's what's going on there. So, okay, get handles. I'm not sure I like the name get handles. That's what they're calling them. So maybe we'll keep it for now, I suppose. All right, so build wall. We're going to now call get handles on it right here to get all our handles. Let's rename this like that. This will be an error.
Do you know why they're called handles, Mark? Because when you've put the line down, the multi-segmented line, you can actually grab them and move them around after the fact.
Look at what Roy's doing. That's so cool. And it tells you the overall total.
Yeah.
How did you get to a point where you could do this, Roy? Did you discover what key to hit?
No, this was just me exhausting, I think, the quantity. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it's suspicious that it's 10. And having done that, I can be out here. It was only as you were asking, why is it called handles, I thought, well, there's only one reason I'd call it a handle. And sure enough.
Yeah, sometimes, Rory, you are a brilliant guy. And other times, I'm just too stupid to know it. So that's probably what's going on. Okay, so...
Well, I was thinking that the better term would be waypoint, but then I realized that implies the act of traveling from one place to another, so like journey. Whereas this isn't necessarily that at all.
Yeah. So, okay, I'm kind of need to clean up my code here. I've got some So we've got that, and then we can return because we can't do anything. And then now we've got to build the line. Guess I'm going to do this, and I'll just keep throwing out the errors. There. Okay, I want to include this. Okay, so we just got a bunch of errors and collecting data down. And now we've got a bunch of handles. And we've got all of this. And now I think what I want to do... I need to track the total length of the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Ugh, stupid me. Give me a sec. I got to go back. Build wall needs at least one more parameter.
Oh no.
Wall length. Right? What the max wall length is.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to have that because that's not actually known. Okay. So that means we need something here. That means we need to duplicate this and take that to 7. And that's going to become wall length right there. These three get in their own block. And I need to do this wall length. Okay, we need to increase arg count to 8. A lot of work, right, to get all this right. Build wall. Then we need to go switch over. Ignore all for now. Where's my build wall? There's my build wall right there. And we need to add another parameter, wall length, like this. And do the same thing down here. There it is. Okay, so we've done that. Right, build wall now has the wall length at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, geez. Do I really want wall length here? I kind of don't. I want to make it a required parameter. So I want to do it here. So do it here, but I'm going to put it out here. There's an inconsistency here. Does that make sense what I'm showing you, Rory? It's a required parameter here.
Yeah.
But I'm putting it as the last parameter in over here. So make you don't happy about it? Not happy?
It's not the greatest in the world,
Fine.
but as we've seen, there's quite a lot of effort involved in changing it.
No, we're going to do it. All right, so we're inserting wall length before lifetime. Okay, so it's the third parameter. Here we go. Let's endure, because Rory wouldn't accept mediocre. All right, so wall length is now no longer number 7. Wall length is number 2, I think. Right? 2.
I have no idea at this point.
Well, this is your fault,
nod
son.
my head and say yes.
Oh my God. Should we be a little more careful? Should I not move so quickly? Let's do it so we've got 2 eyes that are in agreement on this. All right?
Okay.
So we did this. Over here, we added a parameter, inserted a new parameter, which is after number 2.
Third in physical sequence,
Third.
so 0, 1, 2.
Everything else after, so everything that's 3 and above goes to 4 and above.
Yes.
Okay, do we agree with that? All right, let's make that change right now. So everything that's 3 and above, 0, 1, 2. So that means everything 2 and above.
Everything that was 2 and above previously goes up.
Yeah. So this is going to be 3.
Yeah.
3. Yes. 4. 4.
Now is not the time.
No, pudding. We're focused. We had it. Now I can't see my code.
I have no idea what you're writing now.
I can't see my code. He covered it with pudding. Hey, pudding. This is my last show this week, by the way, buddy. We're going to be back next Thursday. So like 8-9 days from now, we'll be back. What's going on? What do you mean last show? Just this week. And next week we're off.
Maybe next week.
We're off as well. So, okay. So now this goes up to 9, right? Back to 9. All right, let's count them. See what we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Let's double check them. I'm going to put them on 2 lines.
We're just moving one this time.
No, we added wall length. Oh, did we already make that
I
change?
think we already added wall length.
Okay.
And now we're moving it to a better location.
Yeah, 8.
We went up from 7 to 8. Yeah.
Excuse me, 8. So I got 8. So we keep it at 8. Hold on though.
So I lost you at around 5 because of a certain dumping of pudding, but I assume you carried on, and that's why we have 6, 7, and 8 still in sequence.
No, I upgraded those. I did carry those. Carry on with those.
So our numerics on screen are good.
This one's bad because wall length is no longer 8.
Right, it's going to be moved back into position 2. There are 8, which is 0 through 7.
Yeah. So wall length is going to be this. Basically, I could just probably do this right there. And that's going to go to 2.
Sure.
All right. Everybody happier? Are you happier, Rory?
It's not optional. So try parse?
Well, this might not be an int. I mean, a float.
Okay.
Somebody there may be a mistake in the string. I'm going to reorder parameters down here. Take the wall length. Whoops, not add parameter. Reorder parameters. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Look at that. I hit something just... Oh, that's... Is that a bug or not? I jammed that key in just as we went in. That's kind of my fault on that. Reorder parameters. Okay. I want wall length down over here. Like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So now build wall. Wall length coming in over here. Good. Now we can continue. I'm going to call this available wall length. And what we're going to do is every time we're going to add a section of wall, we're going to subtract from this until this gets to 0. Okay?
Okay.
And so we're going to go... Yeah.
Thindle says, okay, Code Rush is still insane and I need to learn more about it. I'm going to assume that's in response to seeing reorder parameters, which if you've never seen it before is just phenomenal. Note that it doesn't just, you can fire this from the signature of a method or from a method call, and it will reorder both. Yeah. It will keep them in sync.
Yeah, so
and it will only let you do things that are sensible as well.
Yeah, it's super fast, as you can see too, right? I can go in and I can just get everything where I want, hit enter, and then it reorders everything. It's like so fast.
Also, it looks so cool.
Oh, that's right.
You know, is very important here.
Yeah, that's true. You know what else looks cool, Rory?
What's that?
Got your own TV show. Yeah, Roy, and he's got a talking computer that he fights crime with. That's the show.
Wow.
That's what I think. You know what I want to do,
Roy?
Now
I'm picturing the old style Knight Rider. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Hasselhoff? And you know, when the car talks, it's clearly Mark at that point.
This is how I get all the sexy ladies on the dance floor.
Uh-huh.
How I get them, the sexy ladies on the dance floor, how I get them all off of the dance floor really in a hurry. It's because of those moves. I'm picturing Roy as one of those lawyers from that Suits TV show. That's super quiet. The party music is that what you're saying?
I believe both the parties were more quiet than the intro. I'm not sure how that's possible, though.
Yeah, I'm testing Code Rush just before I had to disassemble my whole office for the move, but it's almost up again. Okay, Tyndall.
Fair enough.
Well, Rory and I are, like I said, we're offline for, you can maybe find us on Twitter. I said I need a sound check. I need everything played. I want to do, after building your fanfare, Rory, I'm now more motivated than ever. Still pressed for time in just about everything I do. Like painfully aware of every second as it just drips away past me forever, never coming back. But I want to create, I really think it would be so awesome to create an animated Simpson-style guy, like your head is just sitting here talking the whole time. That's what I want to do. And I want to have buttons to make your head, drop down and then zip back up and all kinds of fun stuff.
On command.
Yeah. And you can control it remotely as well. So you can do all kinds of things. I think it'll be so fun. I just have to figure out the time to do it. And I've got to learn Photoshop, because you need to do Photoshop to do this. So it's like a lot of, research. How do I do this? What's this? I'm learning that. Well, you have a long plane right ahead of you. Yeah, but I don't have I don't really have a way to work on the plane. My laptop is so big it generally doesn't go up in the economy section, and also it's so powerful when I plug it into the
jet engines are deafened. You can't hear the plane taking off because Mark's laptop has been turned on.
No. What happens is that the actual jets lose power, and the pilot comes back, and he asks me to unplug it. No, what the truth is what happens is it says too many amps. Are you effing kidding me? Get your hairdryer and unplug it from the thing. The power thing just shuts off when I plug in. Try to plug in on a plane. I've never successfully got it to work, and it only, because it's such a beast, it only lasts for about maybe 10 or 11 minutes before it just says, "Ha ha, you have no power? Okay. Nice try. Trying to get work done." Quote, what is up with my spelling today? Wait, what did I miss? Wait, obscure quote, quite is obscure. Obscure quote is obscure.
Yeah.
Dude, obscure.
He refers to this one's better than every other one because it goes to 11.
Okay.
This is Spinal Tap.
All right. Okay, so anyway, so I've got my available length. I'm going to go through my handles. I'm going to take a pair of handles, and I'm going to say, give me flames between this pair. And I'm going to pass in my available wall length, and then it's going to, as a ref, and it's going to turn it to either, it's going to decrement it as it builds the wall all the way up. So I'm going to start going from handle 0 to handle 1, all the way up between handle n-1 to n, essentially, or n-2 to n-1. So let's see. We're going to go all the way to here, like that. So we're going to, we need at least 2 handles, by the way, right, for this to work. If handles count is equal to 1, we should also report that error and get out.
I wonder if that's
A possibility?
even possible.
I think it is. I think it absolutely is.
The only way you could have only one.
Right here.
Well, you can have one static one, all right? But here's the question. Do I currently have 2 handles, or do I have 1?
You have 2.
Because I haven't planted the second one yet.
Yeah, you've got 2. Sorry, I'm showing it over here. Sorry, my kids, I didn't have the right screen on here. When I hit this button, it gets the rulers. Let me clear my ruler down. And so we just have Rory's for sure. And there it is right there. Rory's got 2 handles. Okay.
So, I mean, if I'm doing this, and I'm the only one with a ruler, and you invoke the spell, I'm assuming it would capture the 2 handles as they are at the moment of that.
Yeah, it's going to do it. So you're right. We don't need to do it. Good job, Rory. Saved us again. Cool. So we've got some handles. We know where this is going to be good right here. And then what we want to do. So this add effect is completely not what we want. What we want instead is we want we want to say build wall segment. And we're going to pass in handles of J as well as handles of J plus 1. And it should absolutely work. So if the handles count is 2, this will iterate only once. And so J will work with both 0 and with 1.
And this is why we're minusing 1 off the end as well in our count. So we never reach the last item and try to go beyond the end of the list.
Exactly.
So we get to the second last array and pair it up with the actual last element.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out, Roy, because that was really subtle. I didn't mention that. I didn't say that at all. Good job spotting that. Okay. You know, I had a feature 20 plus years ago that stripped these out automatically called Smart Paste in Delphi. And every time and we had it in Coders Classic for a while, but actually people didn't like it as much as I did. But I like miss it so much every time I go to paste and I'm like, have to manually go through and delete all those types. I just like, I think about the 20 years ago where I had a better tool. Let's see. Joshua, Science 07. I have a question. Why is my branch in GitHub named origin/main instead of just main? You got an answer for him on that, Rory?
It isn't normally.
I'm not a GitHub expert on there. I think it's origin/main normally, but I don't know.
Origin's usually the remote name, so it's like where you're talking about. So my remote from my laptop would be GitHub itself. It's remote from where I am, and the branch itself is called main. But you can have a main branch locally and a main branch at the origin, and it's just a way of distinguishing between the two. So it's like a namespace, if you like, for which machine it's on almost, or which repository it's in.
And I'm going to pass in, I'm going to change this to the position of these is what I'm going to do. Because I don't need anything other than the position. So there's my segment. The other thing I forgot to put in is a ref to my available wall length. Okay, like that. And I think that's all I really need. That's it. Just declare that method. And so we've got 2 positions coming in. We've got an effect name, a spell ID, a wall length, lifetime, and I don't need the wall length. Sorry. See if I can remove just this parameter. Cool. And available wall length. The first thing I'm going to do up here is I'm going to say, hey, look, if available wall length is less than or equal to 0, we're done and out. Not going to do anything. Not build any wall there.
Sure.
So the origin's remote one. Thanks, Rory, for answering that question out there. Yeah, weird Visual Studio behavior happening right here. Adding a parameter. Well, I guess that's not necessarily true. I did add that as a parameter. So weird it thinks I'm running.
That is a bit strange.
Hey, everybody, look what Roy's doing over with his spare time. He's drawing stars over on the other one. You'd think the guy would be a pro. Also, what's going on here? Did you made this guy burn right here? All right, we're gonna move out of the fire. All right, everything's okay. Saved with mini. Okay, here we go. Build wall segment. All right, so that I feel good about. Build wall segment. Here's the space between. We basically need to get the distance between the two, I guess. So we'll start with like position 2 minus position 1. And maybe dot magnitude like that, and then hit the coder's key, declare local on that. So that's going to be my distance. That's what I'm working with.
Yeah.
I'm going to need some sort of constant in here that's going to be my distance between effects. Should that be a parameter I pass down? For now, I'm going to say no. I'm going to make it be 2 feet is what I'm going to make it be. Distance between effects in feet. That's what I'm going to do. Like that. Hector says, got to go. All right. Great week. Have a great trip to Spain. Until next week. All right, Hector. We'll see you next week, next Thursday. Thanks for
Cheers,
staying out
Hector.
with us.
See you soon.
Cheers. Wouldn't it be cool if we could, like, deliver up, hit buttons and have drinks come down from the sky?
Almost as if some kind of party was happening.
Yeah, exactly. No, we've already done that. No. I'll ban you. Don't you try it. Pudding. Okay. All right. So distance between effects. So we need to basically go from point A to point B. This actually, I think we need this as its own vector anyway. This is going to be our our direction, our slope. What is this going to be called? Our delta? I'll call it our delta. So we've got a delta vector. We've got a distance. We need to actually...
the distance needs to be an absolute distance, because otherwise you've got negative potential.
What are you talking about?
Your delta's fine. Distance. Well, the magnitude could be negative at the moment.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. I've got another problem here. I've got delta, but I really want... I want to normalize this. I'm pretty sure. Normalized. And then let's declare that. Normalized delta. And I've got my distance. Yes, I agree. Math.abs. We'll do that. So there's our distance. Normalized delta. And I think we're good. And then we need to basically say, hey, while available wall length is greater than 0, we're going to kind of start building some pieces in here. Distance between feet is, I guess, fine right there. And then we're going to say the position, the first position we're going to want to do so we need to add the first one and then build every other one till the end.
Yes, so we need to...
Or we need to build the first one and move it, first one move it, first one move it, and then come back at the very end, make sure the very last one has an effect on it. That's what we need to do.
Yeah.
There's another way we can do this. No, because we need like an additional parameter somehow. Because does that make sense what I'm saying, Rory? Because we have like, you know, let me see if I can draw it out here and like this kind of a thing. It's kind of like we're doing this. We're trying to write code that does everything plus one kind of thing. In other words, if I'm building this right here, if that's what I'm building, I can do it in a couple ways. Oh, do I have...
Something didn't like that.
No, it's not that it doesn't like it. I've got the rich comments on inside of here, and this has a certain meaning in it, and I forget the way to get rid of them as a literal, so let's change it to a big fat O instead. Let's just do that. Search and replace star with O, and it's not that, and let's go. All right. Looks okay, cool. So what I can do is I can say, all right, let's build these. Kind of like this. So the code we're writing does this, but how do I get this last one in? Right? That's kind of the thing. In other words, it builds this segment here, builds this segment here, and builds this segment here. And when it builds this, it might say, okay, let's say that every 2 feet looks like, you know, every 4 of these dashes. So what it really does is it comes in and says that, right? Every time I've got a 0, I'm adding an effect. Does that make sense, what I'm doing?
Your other problem is that your every 4th 0 might not line up with the next index or the next vector anyway.
Yeah, like what happens if we're here, and then over here we do the same thing, right? We come in and we say, okay, every 4th one, like this, right? And we're like, well, we kind of got whatever 3 over there. It's actually much more of a problem if I'm doing that. And I'll show you what I'm talking about here. And then we come in here.
Because these small pieces will line up next to each other, and that second one will have one at its start and one maybe just 2 characters prior in this example.
Right. So we take all of that. We still haven't answered the question, how do we do the last one yet? But if we take all of that and we line them up, now this is what they start looking like. Right? See that? They're not...
But isn't the idea that these effects will be close enough to each other that they won't provide a gap anyway of any substantial quantity?
Right, but if they are like in the case of fire, illuminated, what's going to happen is you're going to have a very bright space here where you've got a lot of overlap.
Yeah.
Okay? So my idea for getting around this that I've just come up with, thank you very much, is to evenly space these. Evenly space these inside the dimensions given. So figure out how many I'm going to put in, evenly space these, and do not draw the last one.
Yes.
That's my plan.
Okay.
Plan 1. We still have to solve this. How do we get the last one in? You know? And I guess we're going to, maybe it's going to look like this. Add final wall, or close wall maybe. Close wall,
So,
finish wall.
is it important that an effect be at every junction?
Yes, I think absolutely it is. Because every junction corresponds to the satanic star that our friend Rory revealed.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
But
you
I mean, true. I'm just wondering how much less of an effect it will be if if the flames are everywhere up to, but maybe not quite including the apex of the point. So if you had one just before the apex and just after the apex, because that's how it lined up with the exact every 1 foot or 2 feet, whatever you choose. Right? Does it matter that it isn't actually on the point? At which point, just have it be every foot the whole way along. So it's at foot 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot, 5.
Okay.
And
then
ignore
we just leave at the end. It is a simpler way to solve it. I do
Maybe.
like that. No, it is. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. We need 2 refs then. We need a second ref for the what we've done so far, this kind of offset. Do you know what I mean? How much space we've already drawn.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
We'd also like us to see the code.
Gap so far. Oh, yeah, I got that. Gap.
Okay.
I'm going to call it gap so far. And that's what I'm going to do. So it's going to be gap so far is going to go there. And we'll initialize that to 0. Like that. And come out over here. And I'm going to duplicate this. Call it gap so far. Okay. So now we're going to say, I think I need a distance so far. And that's going to initialize to gap so far. Okay. Makes sense so far? Roy, you got a sense of where I'm going with this? Okay.
Yeah.
And there's my distance of feet. So now what I want to do is I want to say, distance to next effect is equal to distance between effects in feet minus distance. It's not distance so far. Hold on.
Assuming you've got a point of reference, i.e. the first effect, can't you just multiply normalized delta by number of feet?
Yes. That's kind of, I guess, where I need to go on this. So we're going to say,
add that.
Yeah. So it's going to be normalized delta times, let's look at that right there. Distance far gap so far. I'm not sure I want to call this distance so far yet. Is what I want to do. I think I don't want to do yet. Or maybe I want to create something distance to next effect. And we're going to set that equal to 0 for now. Then we're going to come down in here and we're going to say, we draw the first one. I'm going to just comment this out. So to draw the first one, we're going to say play effect at position. effect name, spell ID. My position is going to be determined by saying something, just a very simple approach to say it's going to be equal to normalized delta times distance to next effect minus, I think, gap so far. This is in parens. I think that is correct. Right there. Okay. We're going to bring in lifetime, enlarge time in seconds. Sorry, enlarge time. Delay start. Shrink time. Is there rotation passed in? Am I really rotating this? Huh, I don't think I need rotation. And there's no immovable, and we can just do that because it's not movable. So play effective position there. Then we're going to say distance to next effect.
Scroll just a little bit, Mark.
Yep.
There we go.
We'll say distance to next effect plus equals. Do I have something called TaleSpire.convert? Feet to tiles?
Yep.
Distance between effects and feet, like that. Distance to next effect in tiles. We'll say that. All right. Okay, so now we have distance to next effect is there. And I think this gap so far, we're simply going to subtract it every single time right here. I'm pretty sure that's correct. So we're going to do that while available wall length is there, is less than 0. We're going to say available wall length minus equals distance between effects feet.
Okay.
So every time we're going to do that, we're going to take away 2 feet. We're going to place one of those out there. I feel like I'm totally missing something. Oh, calculating gap so far. At the end of this whole process, we need distance to next effect tiles. Well, it's not only that. It's this, we need to, this is our total distance. Total distance, this segment in feet. Is that right? No, it's in tiles. This is in tiles.
Okay.
Total distance, this segment in tiles. Okay. If distance to next effect in tiles is greater than our total distance, then here's where we need to calculate gap so far. Some magic thing. And we need to break. Does that make sense? So there's two ways out. We either run out of wall.
Yep.
Right? And it drops to 0. Or the distance to the next effect in tiles is greater than the total length of the segment.
Yes.
In which case, now we need to figure out how much further we have to get to. And there's something else though. Is this here? I think it is. I think it is. Like that. Okay, distance to next effect tiles minus the gap so far. So I'm imagining as we're laying these out, we've kind of moved back because we didn't have, so these are all a little bit closer to the front as we're going through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then total distance. So we still have room at the end. So now that we get it, now that we're at this point, we need to calculate gap so far. And I'm just blanking. I'm not blanking so much as I'm like, wait, this is going to be something like this minus it's the old one. I don't think it's this new one. Is what I think it is. I think this is the one where we've already plus equaled it. Does that make sense? We've gone too far to build that next one. We really need the position of the last one. Right? So we
can track that as we go, though.
We either track it or I resubtract it down here. It's probably better to track it, you want to say? Let's track it. We can just put it simply right up here. We can just simply say distance to last effect placed. And that's in tiles. So that's before we increment it. No, I don't like that either. I think how about this? Position 2 minus position 1.
That's interesting. Yeah, because we know the end point right out of the gate.
Yeah.
So we can use that as a start position and then, as you say, work backwards.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. It's the magnitude. I feel like I like the simplicity of that. I just want to make sure that we need to math.abs this as well, I think, though. That's what I think we need to do. All right. So, okay, that's my first pitch. We'll see if any of this works. We could crash the whole system down. Build the wall segment. Let's see if we get a build here. I'm going to shut down TaleSpire on the second machine. Thanks for your help, by the way, so far today, Rory. It's been excellent.
No trouble.
Wasabi Dev. Joshua Science. Oh, Joshua Science already. We already said hi to Joshua Science. Wasabi Dev. It's going pretty well. It's my last show, Wasabi Dev, this week. Next week, I'm coming back on Thursday, so I'm gone for like 8 days. So I'll be thinking about you kids during that whole time. Rebuild all succeeded. Hello. Okay, Roy, I just want to point out, we just did a rebuild all. We just wrote code for like 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
If this works...
Oh, claiming so much victory, it's not even real.
We're going to play so many party songs. It's going to be awesome. Okay, I'm starting up TaleSpire, but I need to shut down and restart over on this machine. I need to shut down my main window over here. Wasabi Dev, we're working on creating Wall of Fire is what we're working on doing. Okay, so we don't have actually, now that it just occurred to me, we didn't finish up on this side over here. We've got a build wall that we added to our TaleSpire client, but no call to it.
Uh-oh. Whoops.
And we need wall length. We got it as the third parameter. Okay, cool. So play affected position. I think I'm going to need to add a new... I was going to just have a location here that's going to say... I was going to add just a new enum and then just spin it up into here. If enum is equal to at wall or on ruler, then we do it. But it needs that additional parameter of the wall length because I think that slightly changes.
Yeah, and then the question is, well, how does that get in here? Because play effect is itself a fairly generic.
Yeah, and adding wall length to play effect is kind of like, what? Why would I add that? It does only make sense in this one specific piece. So I think it's going to be a lot of code if I do it the crappy way, it's not a lot of code. It's a lot of code if I come in and build a new one of these. I could just make it generic and make it additional data.
Right, yeah.
You like that
We've
better?
certainly done that before. Yeah. Well, the nice part about that is the admission up front, typically by the naming statement, that it is just additional data with you should not have preconceptions about how this should work except in your specific circumstances. So it's kind of the onus is on the caller to provide this correctly and to know how it will be interpreted in the specific circumstance.
Yeah. Or I could just come in and just, suck it up and say, okay, it's going to be wall length. Length of the walls for walls. I'll just do that. I'm going to do that. It's going to be not the best, but it's going to save us a lot of duplication. So length of the wall.
You could genericize it by just not so much wall length, but length. Is there any other reason that would have meaning for other things? This is the worry you might confuse it with duration.
No, I'll keep it like this. I think I think your suggestions are all good, and I'm ignoring all of them. It's essentially what I'm saying. Okay, we're going to bump that up to 8.
That's absolutely fine.
Bump that up to 8. Come down here, duplicate this, duplicate that. This goes to a 7, and we're going to call this wall length. Right there. And we're going to select those 3 and whoops, embed those. And then I'm going to come in here. All right, cool. We're going to come down here on plain known effect. We're going to add a new parameter here. Guess what's back in my build, kids? Add parameter. I was all over the devs for that. They were like, Mark, can you please stop talking to us so we can write some code here and get your feature back? So anyway, add parameter. Ooh, I'm going to add it to the end right there. Jump down in here. Yeah, I recognize, Rory, that the value I bring to DevExpress is my ability to make people feel uncomfortable until they do the work. That is strictly all that I'm doing.
That puts you in exactly the same position as those guys back in the old days with the whips, right?
Yes, that's exactly what I am. That's me. That's all I am to DevExpress, is the ability to make to apply pressure to my devs until they acquiesce and write the feature. That's kind of what I'm doing here. And to other people at DevExpress as well. It's kind of who I am. Okay, so I've now got this wall length here. Cool.
Yes.
Let's see where these other guys are used. Spell Manager. This is here. Okay. Here, we're going to pop this one in, ea.wall length, into play effect. We're going to go declare it. Whoops, no, not declare that. Sorry. We've already got it here. So on the clipboard, kind of. Wall length is there. Did I remove the last paren? Looks like I did. Okay, there's wall length. Good. I think we're working our way down. Now, I need to add a new effect location. And we're going to say, whoops, not here. I want to stick with play effect. It's kind of like play effect at location. You know what? It's our own thing. We'll just do this. All right. So if it's equal to at wall, like that, Then we're going to do build wall is what we called it. Build wall. Effect name, spell ID. What's happening here? Is it just doesn't like? Yeah. Okay, doesn't like the parameter count. All right, so let's see what we got. Spell ID, effect name, wall length is here. Lifetime, large time, seconds delay start. What's this? That one's going away. I don't know what that one was. Seconds delay start, shrink time, rotation degrees, and nothing at the end. Okay, sweet. At wall, we need to add this. Okay, so we've got at wall in there like that. This also means that in the play effect function, effect location should now include at wall in its list. Set it about right there, at wall, like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so it'll build it as the wall. Okay, is that going to build? Did we get it all? I feel like we may have just finished. Let's see what happens here with a build. Rebuild the show.
Each and every day. You should see the effort Mark goes to before a show, putting all this in place each and every time.
Ah, wow. Interesting. He wants to build this, but it can't because it didn't reload. I told it not to reload when I made the changes on the other side. That's in here. So if I do an unload project and a reload project, that will now be fixed, presumably.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things about coding. Yeah, there you go. Rebuild all succeeded. Okay, run. Is that it's often this puzzle solving kind of thing going on. Where you're
absolutely.
You're like, what is going on? And I like it when we're like, hey, I think I kind of know what's going on. Way better than what is going on. Because we've actually experienced issues where we've like seen what seem to be problems in code that should not have problems, like, shipping, like Unity, things like that. Ultimately we were back like, okay, well, let's try this to try to wiggle around it.
Yep.
Okay, so we're up and running. That wasn't too long. Let me clear up the name tag, so it's only one over Fred. Let's go to wall of fire. We need to add some code here. Do I have wall of fire by chance? Let me see what I got. Nope, I have no walls. Okay, so we're going over to Little Cutie. I'm looking at my Stream Deck, looking at buttons here. Go to weapons, staff of fire, wall of fire. Okay, wall of fire. We didn't add the validation. We need to think about that. Roy, you want to draw your wall out on the TaleSpire side of things? Hold on, I'm going to just set up over here on my desk. I need to copy this button and its other button friend over into Little Cutie Weapons Wall of Fire page so I can quickly move back and forth between the two different views. Copy. Here we go. Little Cutie spells. Oops, not spells. Weapons, Staff of Fire, and then put this here. Okay, over there on TaleSpire side of things, Roy's looks like he's built. Oh, really? That's your wall? Okay.
Well, I mean, okay, fine. We can do better than that.
But give me one that doesn't have crosses. Because if the lines cross each other, it's going to be hard to see if this works.
We're going to encircle everybody.
Okay, but it's only 60 feet.
There you go.
So we're basically going to go
so
to
it's
this
probably
point.
not going to go that far.
All right, but that's okay. Let's just...
Fine.
Stop changing it. All right, so Wall of Fire...
How's that?
We've got time. So Wall of Fire is is here. I think I pressed the button to bring it up. Is that right? Wall of Fire. It's interesting. I don't see the spell effect showing up here. It's interesting. I'm not sure why that's the case. If I go over to code, where's my Wall of Fire? There's Wall of Fire there. So I need something in here on cast that says, play effect, name of the known effect. Oh my gosh, what's the name of the effect? I created something. Let's go explore and figure it out. Give me a second here. Oh, Wall of Fire brought this up for targeting. C-Films. Hey, C-Films, welcome. That's interesting. Let me disable that targeting. I don't like that. All right, let's bring up this. It's called MD Firewall, I think I called it. I built something specifically for it this morning. There it is. MD Firewall. That's my effect name. If I play it, so let's change it to the skyscraper. There it is right there. That's what one piece looks like.
Sure.
Okay, so it's about like 2 feet by 2 feet. So every 2 feet, we should see them just line right up. If we did any semblance of decent math. Okay, I'm going to destroy that one. So it's
place your bets, everybody.
I like your wall. This is better. It's going to get tight in here, right? Because that 2 feet is going to be big. Right
I don't know that it's going to get that far. I think I hit the 60 feet limit before I went round the corner, and the trouble was I needed 10 segments because mine doesn't seem to want to stop until I hit 10.
Okay. All right, cool. Thank you for that. Let me do this. I just want to bring down that guy for a second. Okay, so back over to the other machine. So play effect. No, I thought I had it on
MD underscore firewall, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I see it on the second machine. That looks correct. MD underscore firewall. That's the effect. 3 seconds for the spell to last before destroying it. So it's going to last forever till the spell effect spell expires. Position is going to be at wall. Seconds to delay playing the effect 0. Seconds to enlarge probably 0 because I think it has its own intro. Seconds to shrink when it stops. I'm going to say no for nothing for now. The degrees to rotate this 0. Length of the wall 60 feet. So that one line should build us a whole wall. Now on dispel, I want to come in and call clear spell, like that. The amount of time, I'm going to say 6 seconds. So with this, when it's done, should dispel the whole thing. With that change, now I think we're ready to test. So here's what's on the line. If this works, the first time, Roy and I are heroes. If there's an exception and we crash we crash TaleSpire, then I'm not sure we might have technical
slightly
difficulties.
Less favorable,
and we'll run slightly less favorable. We're like just kind of sidekicks.
We'll look under a rock for some excuses.
Yeah, we're gonna find something. It's not my fault. I'm gonna throw one of our guests in the chat room will be thrown under the bus. That's what it'll be. All right, so ready? Let's do it. So we're gonna say, and we may have another problem too. We can also set a breakpoint here. Maybe not here. Better place for it would be in the spell manager here.
Breakpoints don't work very well on top of alligators.
Sorry, let me get.
Is it me, or do I keep seeing that alligator with horns? Does that ring any bells?
No.
I've been watching Disney's Loki TV series.
Oh, of course, right. That's hilarious. Yeah.
I can't stop picturing it.
We could do that. Okay, so I got a breakpoint over here. So we'll step through some code if this whole thing works. So once again, little cutie, weapons, staff of fire. She's going to hit the wall of fire. I'm hitting cast. Target out of range.
Oh, no.
That's because there's no target here. Because the targeting isn't right on here. Understanding the targeting isn't right. Let's go look at validation. Well, it didn't crash. 5 out of 10.
Hey,
That's
good
my
point.
best score ever. I'll take it.
New personal best. Woo!
All right, validate range. Volume, is it in that space? It's somewhere nearby here. Let's just set a breakpoint here. We'll just kick it off again. Go. All right, what are we doing? That one is the problem. So validate range volume is it's not liking it. Because it's trying to see, is the wall within range, essentially, but it does not know. And remember when I said I don't think I need to send the points back, the handles back? I think I do now for validation. That's what I think I do. That's what I think I need to do.
So if for the time being we skip over this and just keep going anyway, despite validation not working, does everything else kick in?
I know. I considered doing that, but I was thinking, but you know what? I don't have to leave soon, so I could just keep going it the right way. I'm not that curious. Are you really curious, Roy?
I can think of no one in the chat room who wants to see a wall of fire at all.
All right. So I've got good news and bad news here, but the good news is that there's a cool new CodeRush interface being built. Bad news is I can't change the value from it. I have to bring it up in here and do it. Can I do none? Take it back to none. Okay. I'll just hit run. And now we're in play effect. Okay. So that's maybe good. Effect location, creature base. Uh-oh. What's going on in the creature base? The effect is R3 Nexus. It's something else going on. Oh, right. I see what's happening. Notice over there, that was the creature. That was Little Cutie. So Little Cutie's right behind the dragon here. You can't quite see on the position here. Hold on. Little Cutie's right here. So that's where that effect was just played from. Okay, next one is MA Fire Sphere Blast. That's something else. So we should see that one come out. Pillar Blast. Is that all going to really go? Magic Explosion. Wow, I'm just sending a bunch of stuff over. I'm not seeing it play out at in TaleSpire yet, though, which is a little interesting. What's going on here? Oh, because it's trying to send out projectiles. What?
What effect are we triggered here?
Yeah, it seems like the wrong effect. It looks more like a fireball. Did I hit the wrong button? I think I hit the wrong button. Yeah. Chat room says the dungeon master.
Of course, cast fireball. There it is.
Okay, let's try again. Apologies.
Okay, so more points because we didn't break fireball.
One more time. Fireball. Run. At least I tried to do it. Thought I did fireball. Hit cast spell. I don't seem to be at a breakpoint. Is it because it thinks we're already casting it? That doesn't make sense. Shape of fire, wall of fire, go. No breakpoint. Why would I get any breakpoint at all on that? I've got, I think I went casted spell. I had my, there's no validation going on. It's as if we're not getting the, wait, can I hit other buttons and affect things? That worked. All right, let's go back to Wall of Fire. Sorry, Wall of Fire. Yeah. Oh, wait, here we go. I got to get validation breakpoint. I'm actually at it. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so one more time. Okay, max creatures. Max creatures is 1 for Wall of Fire. I'm just going to come in here and just get out and return. Beast Bond. Oh, okay. I got a breakpoint for the switch to the other one. I see what's going on. That was not for Wall of Fire. One more time. Wall of Fire. Nothing. No breakpoint. All right. I got to go look in where... I got to hook this at a lower level and see what's wrong. Stream Deck commands. Select shortcut. Command. Okay. Set a breakpoint there. Let's hit Wall of Fire. Okay. That's coming in. Is it the W? I think it's the W in it, in the message. It's bound to the wrong person. Is that right? Or am I wrong? Is W correct for her? Yep, W is correct for her. Okay, it's not the W. All right, Wall of Fire. Here we go. Got a success. So that means we're coming into here next. Coming over here. Going to be one of these two places we're going to stop at next. Okay, there it is. Activate player shortcut. Let's jump inside there. Okay. Whoa, couldn't find it. So it's either not available or not in her shortcuts. All right, so here's the breakpoint we want to be hanging out at right here. Let's go look at the data. Maybe I need to add Wall of Fire.
Is this a thing where there are a certain number of charges and we've expired them?
Could be. Could be. Let me go check my charges on this. That's a good point. Because if that's the case, we just refresh for a day, but I thought I only used it once. Staff of Fire. It says 0 of 10. Sorry, I'm on the wrong screen for you kids. Over here, it says 0 of 10 potentially on the charges, but I'm not sure if that's a bug or not. For Staff of Fire right there. Let me just try adding a day and see what happens. Because those should update after adding a day. They're not there. I suspect it's because I need to manually add Wall of Fire. Have I done that though? I may have to just jump into what the availability is. Wall of Water, Wall of Fire is there. 10 at dawn. I added a day. They should come back. Let me try it again. Am I still at the breakpoint? I'm not. So let's hit the button again. Maybe it's that I used 3 in a row and I need to add a day. Let's try it. Wall of Fire now. Let's see. No. So action shortcuts, I've got 140 of them. Display text is equal to Wall of Fire. And player ID is equal to player ID. And it's available. What if it's not? Let's just see what happens here. Let's change this up a little bit. Got this giant line of code here. Shortcut 2. And let's just do this, whether it's not ask whether it's available or not. Let's see if we find it there. No. Let's see if the problem is this. The shortcut name doesn't match. Because if we look at it here, its name might include this. I'm not sure if that is included in it.
Right.
So I'm wondering if we're not finding it because of that. So let's see, display text dot. Well, actually, the display text should show up. If I run it, if I just run it, the display text should show up in here. Wall of Fire. It should just be Wall of Fire. Player ID is 3. Is there another problem going on here? Is Willie in the game? Willie's not in the game. Okay. All right, we're going to iterate through all these and figure out what's going on. For each player action shortcut. Shortcut. Next shortcuts, we're going to say, hey, if this dot, why not, display text dot starts with wall. It starts with wall, then we're going to come in here, set a breakpoint, like that. Wait, the whole thing? Oh, because I was running. I was not running, I mean. Okay, let's try again. Hit the wrong button anyway. Doesn't like those. Oh, because the word shortcut here. Shortcut B. All right, let's try now.
You need it for the if as well, don't you?
Oh, thank you. There we go. All right, so what is it? It's wall of water, wall of fire.
It's got the shots in the title.
It's the spell. It's the spell level, I think, is what it is.
Okay.
So I think the problem is in my binding here. I need to specify that it's coming out at spellcaster level 4. That's what I think I need to do. Let's try that now. Let's hit it again. And now we'll do this. Now do we have a non-null? Now we have a non-null value. Okay. All right. So let's go through there. Let's run it. Sweet. And now wall of fire comes up because we weren't seeing that before either. Apparently got a wall of fire, got a 5 as well, an option, so I'll have to add a separate button for that. And I'm going to just hit roll the attack. And we got some git validation here. I'm going to just leave this as fast as I can here. Run, and then I'm going to come down to here and run. And get you 2 screens. And we should see something, and we see nothing.
18 fire damage.
Code. On cast. Wall of fire. What has happened? I don't have it. It wasn't saved.
Okay, that's a good reason for things not happening.
A little bit like, what? Okay, it was MD firewall.
Yep.
Maybe because I was editing and I killed it. Well, is that true? I don't know if that makes sense or not. Duration of seconds to last before destroying it. We last till the end. At wall. Seconds to delay playing this effect, 0. Seconds to enlarge, 0. Seconds to shrink when stopped, 0. Degrees to rotate this effect, 0. Length of the wall, 60 feet. Okay, one more time. Wall of fire. Clear that. And go. And we need actually a breakpoint. The breakpoint needs to be there. And then we just switch to this line and we say go.
One core fire damage.
Oh, it's not saving it at all. Because you know what it is, Rory? It's coming from a... I think I know what the problem is. We can fix it, but what we need to do is we need to give Little Cutie this spell as a regular spell, not just as a... as attached to the wand. That's what the problem is that's why it's not saving it. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I want to copy this. And I'm going to save it somewhere special. And I'm going to get rid of that part right to there and do that. So now little cutie has been given Wall of Fire as a spell she knows. Let's put this here so I know to bring it back. We're going to reload all the data. That one button I created should still work because it's going to set off Wall of Fire at level 4. Okay, that data's been reloaded. Wall of Fire. Go. Oh, and now...
We really need to put that data back in.
Yeah. Sorry about that, kids. All right, one more time. Play effect. I just want to point out, if this works the first time without any testing...
Absolutely. If any of these first times work.
We still get credit for it. What do we call it? Firewall? Is that what we said it was?
Yep. MD firewall. Many zeros with an at wall in there somewhere. And a 60 feet at the end.
Yeah, Rory's like, just get this to work, Mark. Oh my god. Wait, still didn't save it? Now I'm starting to get a little panicked on this. Do I have to restart? I think it may... Is it really a restart?
A few moments later.
You defeated me. Why won't it save it? AA. Let's move away. Come back. It's there now. No, it says saving. Hold on. AA. Go away. Come back. It says saving, 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 saving. I'm almost thinking it's a restart. I think there's something wrong with my saving mechanism.
We could blame Google at this point, right?
Well, I don't know. No, not really. It does feel like it's here, but I'm still seeing that saving kind of thing. I'm a little bit worried about it. Do I try one more time? It's the AA still shows up. I go to Cloud Kill. I come back to Wall of Fire. It seems to be there. All right, so maybe even though it says saving, we can still try one more time. Play effect. MD Firewall.
Tenisku 7, where are you? We need your help.
I don't want Tenisku 7 to see this.
Oh, yeah, alright.
Here too I am.
Don't look, Tenisku 7. Rory Scoop could be Scoop with no scoop. Always the most wisest things are being spoken. All right, this one's going to be Clear Spell with a 6-second drop time. That seems to now be there, even though this seems to be broken. Okay. Let's just come over one more time. Click on Wall of Fire. Yeah, I think it's there. I think it's there. All right, so now we're going to try one more time. Wall of Fire. Go. No errors. Go. And now we're at play effect. That's great news.
Mm-hmm.
Good, 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 and great. Now we're going to go call it on the client. Let me give you 2 views of it right there. I'm going to hit run. Nothing. Man, build wall not registered? Really? What? Is it not build wall? Did we call it something else?
I feel like we really did call it build wall, but...
Don't applaud yet. Yeah, it's build wall. Oh, wait. What's this? We didn't register it. Oh. We actually didn't.
So, I'd like to point out that our code hasn't actually failed yet because it hasn't yet run.
That's what I'm saying. We can still be heroes.
This is entirely valid. The save routine evidently didn't work the first time. That wasn't something we wrote today, right?
You can't blame us for yesterday's problems. You can't. That had nothing to do with today. All right, rebuild all succeeded. Let me do one more just to make sure I'm... All right, that's good. Starting up. So if we get this to work, on our first try. Our first try, man.
Oh yeah.
Seriously, the code we're testing, we haven't actually tested yet. We're about to test it. This is our first try. And we wrote it for like 30 minutes. We only forgot to register it. That's the only thing we forgot to do.
Absolutely. It's akin to writing that amazing algorithm and not returning the value from the function.
Yeah, you don't need that value. What do you want that value for?
And you've all done that. Don't even try and tell me you haven't.
Don't be looking at me like you haven't done that. I know you guys have done that. Maybe not Coding Gorilla.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's probably innocent of that one.
Maybe Pudding. Maybe not Pudding. All right, so we're starting up on the second machine. One more time. Wall of Fire. Wait, we need you to draw something, Rory.
But I've got to wait for there to be a game. Oh, there you go.
Looks like you're in. There it is. There's Rory drawing. So Rory's drawing his Wall of Fire. There's 60 feet, right to about there. It was about 60 feet. So
yeah, I'm just gonna do this here because it seems to want me to draw 10.
All right, so we're gonna try Wall of Fire. Here we go, running the attack on it. I ran the attack and nothing happened. Is it because I've already successfully cast it and I haven't broken concentration with it? At some level, is that the case? It's not rolling the dice. Wait, am I at a break point? Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. I was at a break point, kids, in another version of Visual Studio. That's where we were. So I hit a bunch of buttons after this, so we'll probably see it try again. But here we go. And I'm now at a second validation piece as well. So sorry, Rory, there's going to get a couple of these. Now I'm in play effect. I'm at that break point in play effect. I'm just going to clear the break point and run it. Nothing. Now we get our comeuppance.
33 fire damage.
Okay, the good news is
There's lots of... Wow. Okay.
can't believe that Coding Gorilla...
There's lots of instructions to throw firewalls up, right?
Yeah, I can't believe Coding Gorilla spent all his bits to play a sad trombone just for you, Rory. And not for me, because I didn't make any mistakes yet. That's what I say. Okay. Do you have to leave, Rory? Is it sucking for you because you're like, I really want this to work?
I actually am a little bit overspent on my time budget for today.
Dang, and you wanted to work so much. What's interesting is we're going in here. We are actually seeing a ton of these. What if not MD Firewall? What if we got that one wrong?
What are you saying? We're just calling the wrong effect?
Yeah. What if we didn't get the name right? Maybe we did. We're pretty sure about that.
Feels like a stretch, but
Yeah, let's go see. Nope, that looks right. MD Firewall is there. That's what it should look like. We should stay at this position. What if... I'm just wondering. What if the Y coordinates of these... I haven't checked the Y coordinates of the roller.
Oh, so it's all working perfectly, just 6 foot underground or something?
No, maybe. Let's go check. Let's go look at TaleSpire Explorer at the code we had in that. We have the... let's go look at the Get Ruler. What are we doing with those coordinate points inside here? I didn't look closely at those. Nope, it's just X, Y, and Z. Creating a new vector from those positions. Interesting. So no changes there. Yeah, we should be seeing something from play effect, or some error or something like that. Yeah. What happens if I break concentration on it? Well, I think I actually did already. So we should. Oh yeah, we saw all these calculate lifespans jump in, which are probably related to it losing concentration. Let's see what's going on. Maybe our calculation, our math calculation, is wrong with regards to where to put the points. Let's go switch over to. All right, so we got build wall. Build a segment. I guess we might as well come in here and say, well, let's verify.
Oh, no, you got the code. Sorry, it's my window blocking it for change.
No worries. I'm gonna probably go full screen here and oops, go back over here. We can start like maybe sending some data out here. TLD. This is going to be a segment. J goes from, and then we're gonna do that to that. That's what we're gonna do. So segment J, we're gonna do that, start it there. Then we're in build wall segment, available wall length. We're gonna report on that. Yeah, I'll do it right here. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to bring it down in here as well. So we're just going to report on that available wall length. Then I guess we should say what this position is right here. All right, that's more data. Let's go figure that out. You ready to draw one more for me, Rory? You okay? I don't want to push you.
Yeah.
You got to get out of here?
Fairly soon. Fairly soon.
All right. Well, no matter what, Rory, you're a hero to me. Even if this code doesn't work. I'm going to hit that button on that Rory fanfare. Yeah, so right after this, I'm going to get in the car, drive out to, I'm actually driving down to San Jose today. Then I'm going to pick up, that's not entirely true. Right after this, I'm actually going to write a blog. After the blog, then I'm going to go drive to San Jose. Staying at the airport, tomorrow morning I'm going to the U.S. Embassy to get my brand new passport that's waiting for me there. The last time I tried to show up, they were closed, and I was like, well, I can't stay another day in San Jose, so I had to drive back home. All right, here we are. We're back up. Rory's already, look at him. Look at him. I love this wall. Now that's a wall, Rory. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so I'm going to hit wall of fire, and I'm going to say attack, and I'm going to say we're getting out of here. Just go for now. And now at least we're going to have some data over here.
That's the plan, yeah.
15 fire damage.
Okay. Well, what's going on? Look at Y drop to 0. Oh. The position is the delta I need to add to. Is that correct? I'm doing what I got the wrong thing on screen here. I'm sorry, kids. This is what I should be looking at right here. So look at this. The Y goes to 0 on position. It should be nowhere near 0. We're drawing this, but we're drawing it out in space somewhere. In fact, if I look around, oh my God.
There he is.
Well, it's
not in a very. I guess there's no change in direction going on.
Notice, by the way, did you see it just disappear when we lost focus on it, when we lost concentration? So, no change in direction. That part's disappointing. There's also, our math is like totally wrong. If anybody was thinking for a second, hey, maybe Mark gives a shot, he's going to be a hero. There was no chance of that today. Let's go figure out what's wrong with our math. Let's look at that. Rory, you want to get out of here? You want me to give you a fanfare, buddy?
I'm going to leave you at this point, yeah, and I guess I'm not going to see you now for a little while.
That's Roy. Saved the day. All the time.
All right, my friend. I will leave you with at least the discovery that we are putting things on screen, albeit maybe in the wrong location.
Yeah. So I think next Thursday, we're on screen, wrong location. We'll fix it. Next Thursday, I think we'll do a show. I'm coming back like Wednesday night late. Big time zone change. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. I may
No problem, my friend.
cancel the last minute.
All right, my friend. I'll see you soon. All right.
Bye, Roy. Thanks so much.
Bye bye.
All right, that's awesome. Thanks for that contributions. The contributions, Roy. What did we do wrong? What is wrong with our math? It felt kind of good to me, but it wasn't. The big problem is my position is wrong. Yeah. This, I think, has got to be position 1 plus. Normalized delta times distance next effect tiles minus gap so far. I think at the very least, that's part of the problem. But also, oops, sorry, kids, I'm like thinking I got two screens in front of me. I think, so this is the change that I did just now. I added the position 1 right here. I think that's part of it. But if we look at the numbers back over here, we only draw segment 1. And look what happens to our wall length. It drops all the way down to 0. Right there. So basically burn everything in here, but what's that means is that we're not checking to see if we're going past the total distance this segment piece and tiles. So distance to next effect in tiles. Yeah, so this never is true. Total this distance, this segment. Actually, the volume seems really low. That song. Okay. These two lines of code look correct to me. I've got two different points in space. They look correct. And I don't think what we're seeing, the running out of all of the effects, basically doing full 60 feet in the first segment, doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense that this change alone would fix that. The spacing looks good in terms of when we saw them all put out there in the spacing. So that all looked good. So I'm looking for that. Why didn't we get this true? This would have started out as 0 on the first line segment coming in. Segment. Oh no, look. Segment 0 drew nothing. It looks to me. Also, segment 0 goes from 0 to, basically it looks like maybe there were either two, these two numbers are exactly the same. I mean, here and here. Oh, no, it's not. 93.2 to 93.3. So these miss, and then we come back with well, I think at the very least I need to start sending out what the gap so far is. I think we're reporting both of these. All right, I'm going to rebuild. We'll take a look at that with that data. Starting up TaleSpire. All right, let's break out. Okay, so there's the wall. Kids!
34 fire damage.
That's all we needed to do, was just off by that one little piece. Wow. That's cool. Yeah, and I noticed right around here was 60 feet. That's awesome. That is so awesome. I'm so sorry Roy didn't get to see that.
That worked.
Yeah, that totally worked. Look at that, kids. There you go. Firewall, 20 feet tall. There's 20 feet right there. So it's kind of like, that's where the effect kind of starts to trail off right there. I love it. It's gorgeous. Just missing like some sound effects there to have the burning, but it's awesome. Oh, look, we're about to expire, I think, on that. Is that right? Looks like I saw some flashing over there on the on it. It lasts about a minute. There we go. And now we're going to see this go away. Okay, that was not bad. I saw like a little edge kind of point there, but the essence of the effect is great. It matches what's out there. Let's do it again. So I'm going to hit M2, and I'll draw another wall here. Is that right? Did I do it? There we go. So we'll draw like a protective barrier around our friends. And there it is right there, about 60 feet. And we'll cast it again. Looking at the break point, I'm just getting us past that break point. Awesome. It's awesome.
11 fire damage.
Yeah, we could even come in here and say, you know what, maybe those are too close together. Right? Move those a little bit. Yeah, here's the thing I was talking about is notice what happens here. Right? We do seem to have a little bit of logic. It's shooting past it. The end. I think we can actually fix that. In fact, I'm going to go after it and try to fix it right now. Yeah, because this is the very end point of it. So we're building these out from here. Is that true? I guess we must be. But this one looks, is that centered? Yeah, I guess it is centered. So from right there. Okay, so we're going along here. Then we switch out of this segment, go to the other one. The other one backs it up because of, is that right? Is that effort to back it up correct? It backs it up, but maybe it shouldn't back it up. Maybe it should add the distance we're modifying and then back it up by that. Yeah, if the gap, yes. If gap so far, let's close that stuff down. So it's in here, I think. Build wall, segment. Yeah. So I'm kind of thinking the fix looks like something like this. If gap so far is greater than 0, then we're going to bump this up by the distance between we're going to say the distance the next affected tiles is further, and then subtract the other distance. Yeah, that's what feels right to me. This we can increase a bit. Maybe do it 3 feet or 2.5 feet. Like that. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to make those changes. Let's see if that works. I got to close down TaleSpire. You know, one of the things I really like about Unity is if you attach a sound to an effect, as you zoom in, it gets louder. As you get closer to it, it gets louder. What we don't want to put an audio effect with each one of these components of the wall, but what we do want to do is put one like near the center of the wall, an audio effect. So as the camera gets in close, the sound of the fire gets higher. I'm not going to do that today, but it's just something like to think about. We definitely want to do it. I think that's going to maybe fix it. These two lines of code are going to maybe fix it. Let's try it. We'll do a rebuild right there. Hold on, let me check in with my hot wife, Karen Mangicotti. How you doing?
Hi.
Everything okay?
Are you thinking that I'm trying to rush you because I'm not, because I forgot some stuff that I'm supposed to do?
Yeah. Okay.
Whatever you want, man.
I'm just checking in. Checking in. I got Wall of Fire working, by the way, essentially working. See, make sure I didn't break it. Yeah, I'm talking to you.
That's very exciting.
Jetsam says, hi, Mrs. Mark. Oh, yeah, the feminist is going to love that.
That's a good idea. You should probably
Good
stick
job.
with that Mrs. Mark situation.
Good job, Jetsam. Yeah.
Good job, Jetsam.
Karen says, yeah, you should stick with that Mrs. Mark. That's going to work for you.
Everybody, that endears you to everybody.
So I could jump on the grenade and say, oh, he was talking to me. I'm Mrs. Mark. I changed my gender today. Stop misgendering me, Miss Feminist. That's what I could say.
You could, but you won't.
Okay. No. We don't know what's happening. All right, we got some good music playing here. Some dramatic music to test to see if the firewall works. That's what we're trying to do right now. Back up here inside TaleSpire. I hit the button to show it to you. I thought, oh no, I didn't. I just didn't hit the button. It's going to be that button right there. Okay. So we're inside TaleSpire. Sun is setting. There's a little cutie right there. We're going to get out the ruler. We're going to build up a wall. Let's say we've got some, going to separate creatures and protect this guy right here with the ring of fire. There's about 60 feet, so we're expecting it to end there. I'm going to add a little more just to verify that we're not going to go. Right, the wall should end right there. That's what we're expecting, is that wall of fire to end there. Oh, dang, I right-clicked. Let's try one more time. So M2, and then draw the protective wall. Get right to about 60. There it is, and then I'm going to go further out here. And our test is to make sure no wall goes along here. Okay, hitting little cuties. Wall of fire. Go. Got the breakpoint, just moving past it. And now here we go. Yes! All right, let's zoom in and see if that looks good. Looks good.
Fire damage.
Yeah, I think we fixed it. Sweet. That's what we're looking for, right? So it comes up close to the edge, but we're evenly spacing these apart. The distance on these looks good too. Right? All the way along here. And oh no, we went to 70 something feet. Okay. So we should not see any wall up at 73 feet. It should only go to 60 feet. So we need to figure that part out. But other than that, it's looking great. Right? Really gorgeous. Do you want to see it, Karen?
Yeah.
Before I get rid of it? Isn't that cool? Oh. That's your wall of fire.
Ooh, hot.
Are you faking that? Is it real or not?
You have no idea whether I'm faking or not, do you?
All right. And there we go. Look, it's expired and it's going to go away. Nice. Okay. We need to figure out why it continued to do it, even though it shouldn't have right there. Let's go look at that code, see if we can figure that out. Getting the right button to get you back to the code view. Okay, we should also look at the data from the last one too. Actually, let's switch back over. Look at the data a second. What was happening? Available wall length was decreasing. It dropped to 5. So we were dropping the wall length. Were we incorrectly doing that? Segment 6, segment 7. Let's count the segments. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 we shouldn't have gone into. Segment 7 goes from here to here. It doesn't look like we actually went to segment 8. Oh wait, we started with segment 0, didn't we? My bad. Yeah, segment 0 is our first one. Okay. So 7 is this last one. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is the last one. We were not expecting to get into the last segment 7. But we actually are saying we have an available wall length. So either we're miscalculating our available wall length, possible. What's the code look like again? Let's look at the code. Either we're miscalculating this. Okay, I've got an idea for another test. Let's do another test here. I'm going to build a... I'm going to draw out a different wall here. So each one of these squares here, from here to here, is 10 feet. So that's 10. There's 20. There's 30. There's 40. There's 50. There's 60. 70. 80. 90. All right, there, I've got 90 feet right there. 90 feet. Let's cast the spell again. Yeah, it's going further. It's
17
it has
fire damage.
So I'm going 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 75. Our version is different. Why are we off so far? I really love this effect. I can't wait to use it in the game. Super effective. Really cool. Also, the cool thing about this is now wall of water, wall of ice. All these other ones are going to be super easy to build. Okay, so we need to figure out why is it not stopping in the right spot. I want to try another test. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to do another wall, but I'm going to count from here to there, just straight line. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So 60 feet is here. Yeah, there's 60. And then we'll take that 70, 75. Yeah, let me do it again. I want to back it up a bit. I want to be able to, I'm going to take it right across from here to here. Right here, all the way across. It's about 100 feet. So just that one line. That's all I want to do. Wall of fire, cast it. And I want to see what it doesn't, 10. Let's measure this out. It goes exactly 60 feet. So in this sense, it's nailing it. But it's every time we do a corner or a break, we're coming up with a miscalculation. So that's kind of what I want to do the test. That's why when we had all those other breaks, we were off. And I bet we were off by the amount between the walls. So in other words, 2.5 feet for each time we have one of these corners inside. That's what I think is the problem. Yeah, this is going to be so cool. Okay. It's like we need to execute this line of code one more time every time we call build wall segment, almost. That's what I think that's what my intuition tells me the fix is. So is it that right there? Or is it? Oh no. Some of that ice, the frosty ice in my drink. Brackberg, welcome to the show. We're trying to get Wall of Fire to work perfectly. I feel like I'm kind of close. I got something with it when I got a bunch of different points in it. It actually thinks it's got more space available every time I have a point. It's as if I'm forgetting, and I just want to get. It seems like this line of code is the fix, but my question is, why is that the fix? Because logically, because we didn't have it before, it didn't quite make sense. So I'm like, I think another way of thinking about it where it does make sense is to put it here. In other words, in the second calls in, after we've done one, yeah, but it's possible to also get a gap so far of equal to 0, possible, unlikely. I think I'm gonna throw it here. I'm gonna throw it there and see what works. That's what I'm gonna do. Are the segments fixed length? The segments are whatever length has been dropped. So fixed length meaning once I've laid down the pieces, those segment lengths are going to be whatever you've set them up. It's like drawing a mouse and saying I want to connect this point with this point and this point and this point. But you get to decide what those points are. I'm going to try that line of code right there, and we'll see how that works for us. See if it's any better. Shutting down over here and rebuilding over here. That succeeded. Starting up. How you doing, Frackberg? I hope you're having fun. Hope you're having a good day. Oh, by the way, Frackberg, this is my last show this week. And next week I won't be on until Thursday. So I'm taking some time off to go to Valencia, Spain to go look at apartments, places to live. We're going to go try our hand at living in Valencia, Spain for some time.
Until we don't.
Until we don't. Yeah. How are you doing, Karen Chikati? Is there anything I can do to help you?
I'm freaking out.
You need some help?
No, I can't find the documents that we need.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Documents we need to what? Get the kids in school?
No.
To rent an apartment?
No, kind of, yeah. The documents, they're possible birth certificates or marriage certificates. You don't have them, right?
No.
Okay.
I don't have a marriage certificate or birth certificate.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm sure it's here somewhere.
You've had them here in this house though since we moved.
No, they were just. I
What about the storage in the containers and the?
No.
You don't think so? Frankfurt says, I mean, I'm also glad to hear people are going places, but I need my lurk streams. Oh, sorry. I'm doing mostly well. Passed 2 of 3 certifications, trying to balance work, life, and study.
Balance.
This is me, totally balanced with work. And then the family's down here going like, what are you doing? That's not balanced. Isn't that right? Okay, we've made a change here. Let's see if that change has any impact at all. All right, bring it up. Wall of fire. Get the TaleSpire view up here. Wall of fire. There it is. Let's draw the map item out here. So we're going to do that test we did before. So we're going to say there to there is about 10 feet, 20, 30, 40, 50. So it should end about right there, 60. Then we have 70, etc. Okay, so we're looking for it to go, about to end it right there. Let's get this guy out of the way. Oops. Oh, and then, okay, fine. All right, so I'm going to cast it. Hitting the cast button. I'm at a breakpoint. I'm at a breakpoint. I'm running past the breakpoint. Okay.
18. Fire damage.
10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Almost. Yeah, that looks closer. But not all the way to 60. Which is blocked by the dice, sorry. It's closer now. So the question is it right? Like if we just put one more out there. Let's go with the data says here. Available wall length 2.5, and then it dropped down to 0. Yeah, so here's what I'm thinking. Let's try this now. Let's do... I want to do one more thing, which was playing with this, getting us to a point where this is kind of, I think, might work. And I should emphasize think on this. But my thoughts are, okay, this I feel like is kind of close. What happens if we were to bump, say the overall length was equal to the overall length that's specified, plus we just add on this for the effect right here. And is that going to give us a much closer approximation of this whole thing? So I want to say available wall length is equal to wall length plus distance between wall effects and feet. And I could even maybe say divide by 2. Right, just to give it a little extra for, you know, a little space for the extra effect on the end. And I think if we do that, we're going to be like, we'll do 2 tests. We'll do the same test where we do have the corners, a bunch of corners, and we'll have another test where we do a straight line. And if that works for both of them, it gives me relatively reasonable results. Relatively reasonable results with both of those effects, then I will say we did it. And I might even be like, hey, let's go create a wall of water effect real quickly. What, Karen? Nothing. Hey, I'll take a break for lunch with you when you're ready. She was like, "Oh wow, thanks." I think that means I've not been doing my husbandly duties, right? Showing. Oh, she's right there. She's thinking she Batmaned me in reversed. Showing up out of nowhere. How you doing? You okay? I don't know why you're laughing. Okay, here we go. Let's get you the view so you can see it. Okay, let's lay down. One, that's 10. It's about 20, 30, 40, 50. Somebody got to 65 out there. That's weird. 52. Oh, is it because I'm up in the air? Ah, look at that. Okay. Can I escape it back? I think I can. Okay, that's a little bit better. All right, so let's not do that. Oh, shoot. One more time. Let's try and find a clearing space here. 1, that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and 70. And find 80. Okay, so So what do we got? Oh, this looks better. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. That looks really good. That one ends right in the right spot. All right, let's break concentration on that spell. All right, let's now do the straight line test and see if we get similar results. So we'll come in here, hit M. Oops, M2. So, whoa, what's happening? We're way down there. Okay, hold on a second. Not sure how that happened. Try again. M2. Okay, there we go. So coming across here, we'll go 84 feet. 60 feet is about right here. Okay, so we'll do that as our wall of fire. How are we doing? Looks like it's good. Yeah, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Yeah, that looks really good. It's like ending right at the right spot. Okay, so I'm going to call that feature is complete. Feature is done. That's not bad. There's a little bit of cleanup that we need to do in terms of validation on this and targeting, things like that, but I'm not too worried about those for now. The spacing on this is not bad, looks pretty good. And I love that we can use TaleSpire to create the wall in any shape we want and then call it. And the effect lasts for us. I think I'm going to do a raid. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a raid, and then I'm going to help Karen out, help her find some documents, maybe write a blog post. Kids, thanks so much for joining us today. Let's get the who are we going to raid out here? Send you to Oh Bother, and we'll see you next week. All right, kids, next week. Cody Gorilla, thanks so much. Good luck with your trip. See you when you get back. Yeah. Thanks for the stream, says Wasabi Dev. Thank you for joining us. That was so cool. We did it, guys. We did it. All right. Have fun at Oh Bother. See you next week.